You feel their pain as if it were your own. You absorb their energy. You have a deep, innate desire to heal the broken people of the world. You believe your empathy is your greatest gift. The great psychologist Carl Jung warned that without boundaries, your gift is a magnet for monsters. This is not a self-help lesson on protecting your energy. This is a survival guide. You are about to learn the cold, hard mechanics of the predator-prey dynamic you are trapped in, and how to turn your curse back into a weapon. Have you ever felt like a charging station for other people's problems? Do you find yourself constantly attracting wounded, charismatic, and intensely needy individuals? You enter these relationships with the purest of intentions. You see their potential. You see the wounded child beneath their difficult exterior. And you believe that your love, your patience, your empathy will be the medicine that finally heals them. But the story always ends the same way, doesn't it? You give, and you give, and you give, until you are an empty shell, and the person you tried so desperately to heal moves on, often leaving you more broken than they ever were. You are not a victim of bad luck. You are a participant in a predictable psychological dance, a dance between the empath and the narcissist, the source and the void. Today, we will turn on the lights and expose the mechanics of this toxic dance. First, we will watch a case study, the story of Sarah the healer and Mark the black hole. Then, we will diagnose the fatal trap of this attraction. And finally, we will arm you with 3 critical counter tactics to break the cycle forever. This is a story you know all too well. It might be the story of your last relationship, your current friendship, or your most difficult family member. Sarah is an empath. She feels everything. Her purpose in life is to soothe, to help, to heal. She enters a room and can instantly feel who is in pain. Then she meets Mark. Mark is charismatic, exciting, and wounded. He has a story of past betrayals, of being misunderstood by the world. But he sees something special in Sarah. "You're the only one who truly understands me," he says. For Sarah, this is the most intoxicating sentence in the world. Her purpose has found its object. The healer has found her patient. This is the first phase, idealization. Mark puts Sarah on a pedestal. He mirrors her perfectly. He loves what she loves. He shares his deepest vulnerabilities. Sarah feels seen and validated like never before. She pours all of her energy, her love, her wisdom into him. She is fixing him. She is saving him. And it feels like the most meaningful work of her life. Then comes the second phase, evaluation. Once Mark is certain of Sarah's devotion, the mask begins to slip. His stories of past wounds become a justification for present cruelty. He makes small, cutting remarks. He dismisses her feelings. He creates chaos and then blames her for being too sensitive. Sarah is confused. The perfect connection is fracturing. Her empathic mind tells her, he is just in pain. I need to try harder. I need to love him more. She redoubles her efforts, training her own life force to stabilize his. Finally, the third phase, the discard. After months or years, Sarah is completely exhausted. She is an empty well. She has nothing left to give. Mark, bored and no longer receiving the intense validation he craves, grows cold. He finds a new source, a new full well to drink from. He leaves Sarah, often with a final devastating act of cruelty that frames her as the crazy one. Sarah is left a shell, wondering how the most meaningful connection of her life became the source of her own destruction. Why does this story repeat itself? Why was the attraction between Sarah and Mark so powerful? Because it was a perfect, tragic psychological fit, a lock and a key. The narcissist is a psychological black hole. They have a core of emptiness, a profound lack of a stable sense of self. To fill this void, they require a constant external supply of admiration, attention, and energy. This is called narcissistic supply. The empath, especially the unhealed empath, is a star, a blazing sun of emotional energy. But they have a fatal flaw. They do not know how to shine for themselves. They have a core wound that tells them, my worth is defined by my ability to heal others. They need to feel needed. They are addicted to the feeling of saving someone. Do you see the trap? The narcissist is looking for a limitless source of energy to consume. The empath is looking for an empty vessel to pour their energy into. It is the most dangerous and perfect attraction in the psychological universe. Each one provides exactly what the other, in their wounded state, is desperately searching for. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Carl Jung. In the reaction between an empath and a narcissist, one is transformed into fuel and the other into fire. Does this dance feel familiar? Do you recognize your own story in the tragedy of Sarah? Recognizing the pattern is the first step to breaking it. If you are ready to stop being the fuel, write, I am not a source in the comments. Let's see how many are ready to reclaim their energy. The first and most critical counter-tactic is a fundamental shift in your identity. For your entire life, you have seen yourself as the doctor. Your primary role is to diagnose and treat the wounds of others. This is the source of your vulnerability. A doctor has an open-door policy for the sick. They go towards the wound. From now on, your primary identity is not the doctor. It is the guardian. The guardian's first and most sacred duty is not to heal the world. It is to protect the fortress. And you are the fortress. Your emotional energy, your time, your peace of mind, these are the kingdom's treasures. A guardian does not let just anyone through the gates. They vet them. They test them. They ask, are you here to contribute, or are you here to take? If Sarah had been a guardian, her first meeting with Mark would have been different. When he presented his beautiful wounds, the doctor in her saw a patient to be saved. The guardian would have seen a series of red flags. The guardian would have asked, why is this charming person so eager to share their deepest traumas with a stranger? Why are they so quick to put me on a pedestal? What do they want from me? The guardian prioritizes safety over the intoxicating rush of being the special one. You must build your boundaries like a fortress wall. A boundary is not a request. It is a non-negotiable condition for entry into your kingdom. Start with your time. When someone demands your immediate attention, you must say, I can't speak now, but I am free on Tuesday. You are not rejecting them. You are teaching them that the drawbridge to your fortress is only lowered at your command. The second counter tactic is a simple but powerful diagnostic tool to identify an energy vampire in the wild. The narcissist lives in a universe of one. Their conversations are not an exchange. They are a monologue. They are profoundly, fundamentally uninterested in the inner world of other people, except as it relates to them. The empath, in their desire to heal, often fails to notice this for months or even years. They are so busy asking questions and listening that they do not realize no one is asking questions about them. For months, Sarah and Mark's conversations were 99% about Mark, his past, his feelings, his dreams, his frustrations. Sarah saw this as her job, the work of healing. She believed that once he was healed, he would have the space to focus on her. This is a fatal miscalculation. A black hole does not suddenly decide to become a star. Its nature is only to consume. You must administer the reciprocity test. In your next conversation with a person you suspect might be a drain, you must consciously turn the conversation to yourself. Share a small success, a minor frustration, or a personal thought. Then observe. This is a litmus test. Does the other person ask follow-up questions? Do they show genuine curiosity? Or do they listen impatiently, waiting for the first opportunity to pivot the conversation back to themselves? The data you receive is more reliable than any promise they will ever make. The third and final counter tactic is the most difficult because it requires you to fight your deepest instinct. Your nature is to absorb, to feel. But empathy without an off switch is not a gift. It is an autoimmune disease. It is your own system attacking itself. You absorb the anxiety, the anger, and the chaos of others until their poison becomes your own. After every conversation with Mark, Sarah felt exhausted, anxious, and emotionally hungover. She would then spend hours processing his feelings, trying to solve his problems in her own mind. She was not just giving him her time during the conversation. She was giving him her solitude, her peace, her entire inner world. He was living in her head, rent-free. You must learn to practice conscious detachment. This is the art of listening with compassion, but not with absorption. Visualize a clear, protective shield of glass between you and the other person. You can see their pain. You can understand it. But you do not let it pass through the shield and enter your own system. When the conversation is over, you must perform a ritual of cleansing. Go for a walk. Listen to music. Do something that brings you back into your own body and your own energy. You are consciously washing the residue off of you. You have believed that your empathy was a beacon of light, attracting those in need. But you have been carrying an unhealed wound, a wound that whispers, "I am only valuable if I am saving someone." The narcissist's radar is not tuned to your light. It is tuned to your wound. They are not attracted to your gift. They are attracted to your unhealed need to give it away for free. The great, liberating truth is this: you do not attract narcissists because you are an empath. You attract narcissists because you are an unboundaried empath. You are a healer who has not yet healed themselves. Your transformation begins now. You are not a victim. You are a fortress that has left its gates open. It is time to secure the perimeter. This is your new code. Adopt the Guardian's Oath. Your first duty is to protect your own energy. You are the fortress. Administer the reciprocity test. Identify the one-way streets. Give your energy only to those who invest back in you. Practice conscious detachment. Learn to care without caring. Protect your inner world as your most sacred space. The world is full of black holes. Your job is not to fill them. You cannot. Your job is to be the star you are meant to be, shining your light from a safe and sovereign distance. Your empathy is not a curse. Your lack of boundaries has been. Today, you build the walls, not to keep the world out, but to finally, for the first time, keep yourself in. It is time to stop being a source and start being a fortress. If you are ready to stop healing the world and start protecting yourself, write, "I am the Guardian" in the comments below. Welcome to your sovereignty. Subscribe to the Thinker's Codex. Your training has just begun.